We got new reports on the ladies in Houston and all of our urban communities. When somebody sent this to me, all right? When somebody sent this to me, I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. But I wasn't heartbroken for the women that choose to open up their legs. No, that wasn't why I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken because when I did a review of this a few weeks ago, it might have only been a couple weeks ago. One thing that was communicated that we kind of glossed over, but we didn't really address, is who is truly being affected by what it is that we see happening out here. Who is truly being affected by what it is that we see happening in these streets? Now, Houston is the hotbed right now. Houston is the hotbed. According to reports that I've read, we all know that Atlanta has the infectious disease rate of a third world country, similar to a third world country. I've read those reports and I've displayed that here on the Millionaire Morning Show. We know that in most urban communities, there's a lot of people walking around that clap. They're walking around with the clap. We know that there's a lot of people getting that 2-for-1, 3-for-1 deal. That means that you go there, you're looking to get the box, but you also come away with syphilis, gonorrhea, and then you might have that HIV to go along with it. The 3-for-1 package. Buy one, get 3 free. Buy one, get 3 free. But it's the children. And one of the things that y'all wrote inside of this email, because I have not walked through the whole video, I just gave it a quick glance. One of the things that y'all sent me inside of this email is that they placed an emphasis on the idea that children are being born with diseases, including syphilis, as a result of women then going untreated, but then still having children while also getting impregnated by the men that they say that they don't necessarily want. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. We cooking up here live from Tokyo, Japan. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning here in Tokyo, Japan. But we doing the work. Make sure you get the motherfucking likes up. Let's get into this shit, man. This shit is disrespect. Look at that. Before we even get into the show, before we even start deep diving into this report, I'm going to need y'all to take a good look at this picture. One of the things that they used to do, because I don't know if they actually had classes for y'all, but in high school, we took a health class. We had what we called health. You got that health class? Oh, man, did you go to such and such? It's going to be wild when she show you that clip. That was one of the things, right? We had a health class, right? And in the slides, they would show us, and it was one of the things that really seared into my mind. Don't worry, I'm going to be taking notes. So I got my Ritz-Carlton notes because we stand at the Ritz here. So I'm going to be taking notes for you guys, similar to when we were in class back in high school. Let me turn my piano. Give me a second. So we're going to be taking notes, right? It is 1 a.m, but we need to be taking notes. Do you have your pen and pad out? I know you new rappers, y'all don't like to write y'all rhymes anymore and you like to do it on your iPhone. Do you got your notes on your iPhone? Do you see the picture of those hands? Those are syphilis hands. I've never in my life seen syphilis hands before. No, don't look away because you wanted to open up your legs to them, but now you don't want to open up your hands to them. Those are what we call syphilis hands. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications.
There has been a dramatic rise in syphilis cases among Houston women. The Houston Health Department is reporting.
Now, let me add one caveat in here, right? Because in watching the beginning of this, I watched the first minute of it, and watching the beginning of this, one thing that she didn't want to say is that the women that are overwhelmingly the ones that's in the clinics and in the hospital and having children being born with syphilis are women. They're going to say women of color. Black women. Let's just be real. It's black women. They try to leave the description, the adjectives, that the descriptions of who's there, because they don't want to be politically correct. They don't want to be disrespectful in their eyes, but I'm not going to be politically correct. According to the reports, because I did a little bit of extra research. Yeah, I was over here writing on my Ritz-Carlton paper. Don't worry about it. According to the reports, the women that are overwhelmingly being subjected to this are women of
a spike of 128% in cases and a
spike of 128% month over month, year over year. A spike. Listen, if your hands don't look like that, if you don't have clear eye, hold on. If your hands don't look like that, if you don't have clear hands, fellas, when you go on a date from now on, I want you to tell her don't look at her in the club. Don't look at her in the club. If your chick don't have clear hands, tell her, let me see your hands. Put your hands where my eyes see. Straight buck wallin' in the place to be. If you really want to rock with me, and God we trust, tell that hoe to show you her hands. If her hands look like this, don't see it through, my boy. Don't see it through, my boy. Don't see it through, my boy. Don't talk to her if her hands look like she been playing hopscotch upside down. If that hoe is playing hopscotch, she look like she been walking on her hands with no gloves on, get that hoe up out of there, bro. Don't touch her. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200.
There has been a dramatic rise in syphilis cases among Houston women. The Houston Health Department is reporting a spike of 128% in cases and a 9-fold rise in congenital syphilis in Houston and Harris County. To help.
Do you guys know what congenital syphilis is? Do you know what congenital syphilis is? Now, if you're using your context clues, most people are going to say that congenital syphilis is you contracting syphilis as a result. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. You contracting syphilis as a result of having sex out of wedlock and then contracting the disease. But we gonna have a health class right now for our women of color, since I'm a lame and somebody said that I just started getting pussy. Shout out to you. I'm a lame, disease free. Go to the doctor twice a year, check up. No diseases, no herpes, no syphilis, no clap, no HIV, no none of that. We lame the fuck out over here. We ain't got to worry about this. So we going to have health class for everybody else. Get your pen and pad. We taking notes today.
Help us understand the complications to not only the women, but their babies as well. We have Rubina Joseph. She is a primary care and infectious disease specialist physician.
Y'all got y'all notes out? This is the Millionaire Morning Show. We're not going to sit here and have this conversation without having our notes out. If you don't have your notes out and you're not taking notes like I'm taking notes, then we're going to have a problem. Because I don't want y'all saying that y'all didn't know.
At Legacy Community Health. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is such an important topic because syphilis is so easily treated. So first, let's start off with understanding and explaining to us what syphilis is and what it looks like.
Sure. Syphilis is an infectious disease. It's a bacterial infection that's transmitted primarily through sex.
Shout out to my dog Logic. We over here in Tokyo having a good time, my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. Hey, Logic. We got a lot of feminine women that got good energy over here, and they flatbacks, but they got good manners, bro.
And there are many stages to the disease, but it usually starts off as a painless sore, and then it progresses to later stages if left untreated.
It starts off as a painless sore. You got to check her hands, big dog. Tell her, show me your hands. Show me your hands.
And it's very easily treated, like you said.
So as an infectious disease specialist, what do you think is giving rise to this dramatic spike?
So there are many reasons.
Amongst black women, add the context.
For the rise. First of all, STDs in general have been on the rise all across America, and syphilis is one of them, and Houston is feeling it. And
It's happening all across America in your latest community with all of the baddest hoes that look like sexy red. Y'all think them hoes look bad. Listen, over here, they don't have BBLs. They don't have butterfly eyelashes. But Houston is ground zero. It's like that fucking monkey from Outbreak. All of y'all is monkeys running around with syphilis, passing it out. And then y'all driving over. A shout out to Cantrell. I rock with you. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Y'all pass it out and y'all spread out and y'all bring all of y'all syphilis and gonorrhea over to these other places. We don't want y'all over here.
The specific rise you're talking about is in women and in congenital syphilis also.
Yeah, Simone, we got these flatbacks over here. But they feminine, boy.
Is at 128% increase for women and about a 9-fold increase in congenital syphilis.
Okay, so 128% increase amongst women in Houston, which is predominantly black women, and a 9% increase in what again? I got to write my notes.
28% increase for women and about a 9-fold increase in congenital syphilis. And I would say
congenital syphilis. We're going to learn what congenital syphilis is. A ninefold is really like a 900% increase. But they don't like to use that number because it's like, it just seems so wild. So take how many, well, we'll get there.
One of the most important reasons is
check her hands.
Reduced access to preventative treatment resources and screening resources also, and that's been ongoing for the past few.
Let me rewind it. Before we get into what congenital means, this is her reasoning for why it's happening. She's going to give you a breakdown from her professional perspective as to why there's such a huge outbreak. This is her reasoning. All right, we're going to rewind it a little bit.
Syphilis, and I would say one of the most important reasons is reduced access to preventative treatment resources and screening resources also.
She said one of the reasons why you hoes is out here giving away syphilis like it's a newspaper, like it's a flyer for a party, is because preventative treatments and not basically choosing properly. What about close your fucking legs and stop having children and sex with these niggas that don't give a fuck about you and then having kids with them? She said everything but the thing that was true. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. She said preventative access to early treatment options and what about not opening up your legs to niggas that don't give a fuck about you? Oh, but Anton is the bad guy. Hold on, let me take my notes. I got to turn that around, sorry. Wrong way. Anton is the bad guy for telling women to close their legs because the real niggas not going to be getting no new pussy. What about closing your legs and not opening it up to every single person that tell you that you look cute?
And that's been ongoing for the past few years, and it's been exacerbated, I would say, by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Can you explain what congenital...
And it's been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Anything except for telling people to take responsibility for who it is that they sleep with and opening up their legs to people that shouldn't be in there in the first place. All right, I got you.
Syphilis is because I even had to look it up. What's the difference here?
Hold on.
Genital syphilis is because I even...
And it's been exacerbated, I would say, by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Can you explain what congenital syphilis is? Because I even had...
Now we're going to learn. We taking notes. So we got to get congenital syphilis. Now, I told you that we was going to come back to this. Now that we know it's not the fact that women can take responsibility because they have the option to choose who they want to sleep with, and we have a sexual liberation movement going on along with feminism, we know that that's not the reason. It's only because they didn't get preventative care now, and they're not as educated as they should be. So we going to blame it on the system again, all right? So now that we got that, now that we checked their hands and we see that their hands are spotty, we trying to understand what congenital syphilis is, all right? So let's go.
to look it up. What's the difference here?
Sure. So congenital syphilis is syphilis that's transmitted from mother to child. So basically, if a mother has syphilis, she can give it to the baby while she's pregnant, and the baby can go ahead and will be born with syphilis.
So now we know that congenital syphilis is baby born, eyes burning, hands spotty, mother whore, sleeping with less than 20% of the bad men. Give me a second. Gotta tear that off. Ooh, this that good paper. This that thick stuff. Less than 20% of the bad men, women sleeping out of order. I'm gonna go to the next thing. Congenital is baby's eyes burning because mama's coochie is dirty. Hands spotty. Doctors need to wear masks and basically ensure that they go through the best protection possible for Centers for Disease Control, because hoes is out of order. Got it.
That's scary. Are there severe complications if this goes untreated?
Anton is not a lefty. I just got it spent around. Don't worry. See how it's all backwards? It's all mirrored. I'm a righty.
Absolutely. There are complications in congenital syphilis and in syphilis in an adult who is non-pregnant also. So in a non-pregnant person, if left untreated, it can progress to later forms which can affect your brain, your heart, your bones, and can lead to death eventually.
So you telling me you hoes is dying from syphilis still in 2023? You pass. That's why your kid keep talking about why your kid is so fat, because he big boned, because he got syphilis when he was born. I get it now. So now your kid's bones is fucked up because they was born with syphilis. They can't see, their bones is brittle. You niggas is breeding inferior humans because you out here opening up your legs and you passing on syphilis to your kids.
And that can be anywhere from a few years to many years without treatment. And in congenital syphilis, yes, it can cause a lot of congenital abnormalities. The baby can be born with abnormalities and eventually death also.
I need to know what these abnormalities are. What are these abnormalities that these kids are being born with, so I can know why you niggas is so retarded and you can't learn in school?
Besides pregnant women, who else should be tested for syphilis?
So anyone who has had unprotected sex, had sex with anonymous partners, multiple partners, anyone who's basically at risk for contracting any STDs. If you have a suspicion, then you should go and get tested.
So basically, hoes. Look, I'm telling you. That's why y'all kids is They don't want to hear me. They don't believe me. They don't believe that I'm telling them the truth. They think that this is all jokes. I keep telling you that your kid's eyes is messed up, and they don't want to believe you, homie. They don't want to believe me. They don't believe me. I'm going to prove it to you today. This is what the results are saying. Y'all keep saying, Anton keep joking about the fact that he keeps saying the eyes and all of this other type of shit. No, look. Doctors suspect late congenital syphilis based on a physical examination and the results of blood tests of the mother and child. Doctors examine children and look for specific problems caused by the infection. The specific problems include inflammation of the eyes, deformities of the teeth. So now your fucking kid look like a vampire, and that's why y'all keep getting y'all teeth done. And deafness. So they can't eat, they can't hear, and they can't see. And they sitting in class, fucking, y'all keep diagnosing it as ADHD and My kid is base headed and my kid is a fucking crack baby. You not throwing in the fact that they was born with congenital syphilis and they couldn't see and they couldn't hear when they came out. So now your kid coming out looking like the fucking, like Groot. Your kid is coming out looking like Groot because you can't control what it is that inserts you. Was I right? Was I right? Your kid is like Groot because you can't keep your legs curled. The kid is fucking blind, teeth is falling out, and they can't hear. And it was a crack baby. And it was born in, and you keep smoking and blowing trees in his face when he a kid. Then he get into the classroom, he be like, I don't understand nothing. I don't get it. I'm so confused. Mama, what's wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong with you. It's just your daddy. Your daddy wasn't shit. You ain't shit. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. Your kid is fucking base-headed because you couldn't keep your legs closed. Mom, I don't know. I don't understand why the only thing I could ever be is a rapper and a basketball player. I'm crazy and I can't see and I'm two and I got bifocals on. Your kids' glasses look just like this. Every time they wake up. Mama, I need contacts at 2 years old. Well, your mama couldn't keep her fucking legs closed. And so now she was born. You can't hear, you can't see, you don't know how to eat properly. It's your mama's fault, my nigga. It's your mama's fault, bro. I'm telling you what the report says. Inflammation of the eyes, deformities of the teeth, and deafness. I am Groot. Your kid is Groot, nigga. I'm telling you all the way from Tokyo, Japan right now, your kid is Groot because his mama, you had to see it through and his mama couldn't keep her fucking legs closed. I am Groot. Groot looking head ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my face. Keep on taking up all of the resources. You keep being in a retarded class. Your kid is in section 8 all the time and damn room 9. You know what the fuck room 9 is. Y'all don't know what room 9 is? Room 9 is the room that all of the kids that's slower than everybody else go to in order to learn. They don't go to another class. They don't go from class to class. They stay in the same fucking classroom all day. They go to lunch at a different time. They on a playground at a different time. And they go to the same classroom and they being taught by the same teacher for their entire life. They always got on fucking striped shirts. They walk different. They hair grow inside out instead of outside in. These motherfuckers' glasses is always crooked, and their mama is always picking them up with a different nigga in the car every time. Those are the room 9 niggas. Room 9 niggas really was the dudes whose mamas was for the streets, and she gave him crack. He was a crack baby, and the motherfucker was born with congenital syphilis. That's all it is. We can fix this shit. That ain't that your kid is slow. It's that his mama couldn't keep her legs closed and she born that nigga with congenital syphilis. Room head ass, Groot ass nigga. Your mama is your fault. Don't keep blaming it on the system. It's such sexual relegation and I can't learn. That's why the I Promise School, LeBron's I Promise School is over there being fucked up because all of them kids is over there looking like Groot. Them I am Groot ass, head ass niggas. Get the fuck up out of here, bro. Got all of them dumb striped shirts on. Knowing that we can't see you. All these niggas confusing you as you walking down the hallway because all of them got striped shirts on. Like, god damn it. Why all of them kids got striped shirts on in room 9? Keep on wearing helmets every time you come in. Why he got on a construction hat? I used to ask my mama that when I used to get dropped off at school all the time. Like, why that kid got on a fucking construction hat? And why does he have on a football helmet? Well, that one's teeth is messed up and he can't hear completely. Oh, so you telling me that his mama had congenital syphilis? That's why this nigga gotta wear a full face mask and a full football helmet with the face mask on. This nigga's looking like Marshawn Lynch in school. And this other nigga over here got to wear a construction helmet because he a crack baby, and this motherfucker got congenital syphilis when he was born. Can't even hug this nigga because his mama coochie was burning. This nigga got on a full football helmet because his mama was, I am Groot. Dumbass nigga. Get the fuck up out of here. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent. I'm over here in Tokyo. I'm having a good time. I'm supposed to be in a good space. Tell your mama to keep her legs closed, fam, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. All your mama got to do is keep her legs closed, and you would have been a good kid. It ain't even your fault. It ain't even your fault, fam.